Most people who struggle with their weight know exactly what they should eat. They understand calories, portion sizes, and the importance of movement. Yet knowing and doing remain separated by a psychological gap that millions of people cannot seem to cross. What makes this gap so difficult to bridge? The answer lies not in the body, but in the mind. The emotional function of food. For many individuals, food serves a purpose far beyond nutrition. It becomes a reliable source of comfort, a way to manage difficult emotions when other coping mechanisms feel unavailable. After a stressful day, a demanding conversation, or an overwhelming situation, food offers immediate relief. This is not weakness. This is a learned response that developed over years, sometimes decades. The brain remembers what brought comfort. It stores these patterns deeply and activates them automatically during moments of distress. Eating becomes intertwined with emotional survival, making change feel threatening rather than beneficial. The weight of daily decisions. Modern life demands constant decision-making. By evening, many people experience what researchers call decision fatigue. The mental resources needed for self-control become depleted. In this exhausted state, choosing a familiar comfort feels almost inevitable. The path of least resistance leads toward established habits, not new behaviors. This explains why someone can maintain discipline in the morning but struggle at night. It is not a character flaw. It is a predictable consequence of how the human brain manages limited energy. Habit loops and comfort behaviors. Habits form through repetition. A behavior performed consistently in response to specific triggers eventually becomes automatic. The brain stops questioning it. For someone who has eaten while watching television for years, the two activities become neurologically linked. Sitting down to watch a show can trigger hunger that has nothing to do with physical need. Breaking these loops requires more than intention. It requires understanding the triggers, recognizing the automatic nature of the response, and gradually building alternative patterns. This process takes time and often involves setbacks. The identity conflict. Perhaps the most overlooked barrier is identity. When someone has been overweight for a significant portion of their life, that experience becomes part of how they see themselves. Change threatens this familiar self-image, even when the change is desired. There is often an unconscious question: who am I if I am not this version of myself? This internal conflict creates resistance that operates beneath conscious awareness. Misunderstood truths. Society often frames weight loss as a simple matter of willpower. This framing is incomplete. Willpower is a limited resource that fluctuates based on stress, sleep, emotional state, and countless other factors. Relying on willpower alone sets people up for repeated failure. Knowledge also does not automatically translate into behavior change. Understanding nutrition is different from being able to consistently apply that understanding when emotions are high and energy is low. Perhaps most damaging is shame. Many people believe that feeling bad about their weight will motivate change. Research suggests the opposite. Shame tends to trigger the very comfort-seeking behaviors that perpetuate the cycle. Criticism, whether from others or from oneself, often reinforces the problem rather than solving it. The silent internal struggle. Inside, there is often a constant negotiation happening. One part wants change, imagines a different future, and feels frustrated with the present. Another part needs safety, fears failure, and seeks comfort in the familiar. These parts are not enemies. They are both attempting to protect the same person using different strategies. This internal conflict consumes mental energy. It creates exhaustion that few people on the outside ever see. Closing insight. Weight is not simply a physical phenomenon. It exists within a complex psychological landscape shaped by emotional learning, habit formation, identity, and daily mental demands. Before change becomes possible, understanding must come first. Not judgment, not motivation. Understanding. When someone begins to see their patterns clearly, without shame, the psychological gap between knowing and doing becomes a little less wide.